FAPA Talk, the pilot video podcast, is created by Top Cut Video. For companies that value their digital presence, Top Cut Video can help you with your video marketing needs. You deserve better videos.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of FAPA Talk. Good to see you. I am here with Greg Reverdiau from the Pilot Institute. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Well, Greg, tell us a little bit about yourself and your particular corner of aviation, because of course there's not just one. It's not just airlines, lots of different stuff you can do.
That's right. Greg Reverdiau. I'm with the Pilot Institute. Been in aviation for over 20 years now. Started having a dream as a kid. I had an uncle who was a Northwest airline pilot, flew from 747s from the US to Japan, and gave me the bug of aviation. We talk about the bug of aviation a lot in our courses, and he was the one when I was a young kid. I wanted to be an airline pilot in the US. I say in the US because I grew up in France, and so for me, the dream was to come live here, which I did 22 years ago now. I've been here in the US, so more than half my life. And I went to a school in Florida called the Florida Institute of Technology, which is where I got my pilot licenses. I started flying in France before I left, get my private pilot there, and then finished everything up here in Florida, and ended up working for them for 13 years after that. So made my way up the company, managed the flight training program. As I left, I was the assistant VP for aviation program. We had about 55 aircraft, 550 students. So I was into the flight training thing. I always wanted to be an airline pilot, but as you may have known other people, I get caught in the 9/11 thing, which decimated the demand for pilots. Obviously, being a foreigner as well at the time didn't help. So decided to go into the management side of things, which I don't regret now. Kind of wish I became an airline pilot at one point, but I love what I do. I love teaching people. So moved to Arizona, managed a small flight school, and worked for another big university here in Prescott, Arizona, and then ended up doing Pilot Institute. I wanted to teach pilots. I wanted to do it my own way with my own curriculum, having full control over what I taught and how I taught. And I saw the results of what I call the testing prep ground schools online that were not really teaching students to be proficient. They were teaching them to get a grade on the exam. So I founded Pilot Institute to be an in-depth ground school. Private pilot is 35 hours of content. So I go over everything you need to know and then some to be a safe and efficient pilot. But yeah, that's my history. I still fly. We own a Diamond DA-40 here in Prescott that we fly around for recording videos, but also for transportation. And my love of aviation has never gone down in 20 some years.
That's awesome. It's, when you talk to someone that, I don't want to use the word gave up, but I'm going to say, abandoned the idea of an airline dream to teach. And there are people that say, why would you do that? Did you not like it? Was it a medical issue? And there are some of us that are just weird, strange, gifted, whatever we want to call it, that the teaching is the side that we really, really love.
Yep.
I absolutely consider aviation my vocation, my profession. I love it, but I love it from the side of a camera, the front of a classroom, the front of a lecture hall. I love the teaching side of things.
I do too. I can feel exactly what you're saying. That's being in front of the students and getting, what I tell people is getting the light bulb moment when you're in a classroom and you see them, okay, they put two and two together and now they understand the concept, and that's the best feeling.
That's when that first day the student can't even spell VFR, and then
Yep.
one day solo, and then they're talking to the next set of students and literally becoming a flight instructor overnight, an unofficial
Yep.
flight instructor overnight, but sharing the passion and what they learned is so much fun.
Yep. And now they fly for the airlines too. So I have a
Yeah,
lot of students that
exactly.
are out there that fly for the airlines, which is cool.
Oh, it definitely is. You talked about the written exam stuff and not just teaching question answer memorization. I remember the first practice written exam I took in college. I got 100% on it, and I complained to the professor, and I said, there are some of these that I straight up did not know the information. I just
Mhm.
remember the answer was A. He
Yep.
said, "You're the first person ever complained about that." I'm like, well, it doesn't
I want
matter
to learn.
because A, if one engine stops working. So that knowledge is
Yep.
important. Awesome. Well, you already told us a little bit about the Pilot Institute, but go into a little bit more detail, the type of programs you offer, the type of education you provide. Is it a written exam? Is it practical? Is it different cockpits? Give us the gambit. Give us the whole menu of what you offer.
Yeah. It's a bit of everything actually. So we do have drone and airplane products. So the drone side of things blew up in the last few years, and I saw that a long time ago in the early 2010s. I saw that drones were becoming a thing. So I really wanted to be on that side. So we provide a lot of training for drone pilots out there, but we also do a lot of airplane training. Obviously, my first love, and that goes from ground school, private instrument, commercial. You can get that multi-engine. But we also have other courses that help with the proficiency side of things. Getting ready for the exam is one thing, and learning all of that on the ground is one thing. We want to make sure we can save students money when they get to a flight instructor. I know that flight schools have a hard time getting flight instructors, keeping flight instructors. And what flight instructors want to do is they want to fly. They want to be in the airplane. They don't want to do ground lessons. So we take care of that. We can do it much better than being in front of a whiteboard where the instructor is going to have to draw some things. We have beautiful 3D animations. We have interactive content where you can put VR goggles on. We actually have a VR program that's available for free to help learn how to pre-flight three different aircraft. The Cessna 172, very popular, the Diamond DA-40 because we have one, and then the Piper PA-28 because that's the airplane I learned to fly on. And all of these are available in the VR environment where you can put the goggles on, you end up being in a hangar, and you can walk around this aircraft and look at all the different parts of the airplane. You can click on the engine, it becomes transparent, and now you can see the pistons moving inside of the engine, and you can learn about the fuel system, which you can't really see from the ground, right? You can't look through the wings in real life, but here you can actually see them in transparency. You can see where all the fuel lines are going, where the brake system works, the pitot-static system, all the pulleys that are connected to the flight controls. All of this is visible in virtual reality. And we also do a lot of augmented reality training. So practicing your checklist, for example, can be done in augmented reality using an iPad or using a phone. And you can scan around the room and you're in a virtual cockpit. And now you can actually see all the different buttons and you have to practice. So we try to do more than just videos. We try to be more interactive for the younger generation that learns differently than I did, than you did, than our parents did. So we're trying to make this as exciting as possible and to save as much money as we can during the flight training. And we have a radio communication course that's about to come out where you'll be able to talk on to the computer. It's going to read what you're saying, analyze the data compared to what you should have said. And we have 75 different scenarios where you'll be able to learn from taxiing at a Class Delta airport to taxiing in Phoenix at the Class B airport, very busy, or getting into Class Bravo, or getting into an uncontrolled airport. So we have 70 different scenarios where you'll be able to practice. I'm really excited. I got actually the template this morning from the developer, and we've been playing with it. So it should be coming out within a month or so and have that available. So those are the cool things that we do. And I love my job, as you can tell. I just
Clearly, yeah, you're not excited
it's
at
just
all.
awesome. No, but yeah, bringing this
Some
new
of the young
technology is awesome.
You said for the young people with some of the technology, but I would also go ahead and probably make the argument as you would that the older generation as well, because the older
Yes.
generation, while maybe some of the technology is a bit newer to them, the idea of hands-on. I don't want to learn about this in a book. I want to see and touch the airplane and put my hand in the thing and get them dirty with oil. And through the
Yep.
virtual reality and the augmented reality, you have the ability to do that. And
Yep.
radio
I had
communication is so intimidating that sounds like an amazing program.
Oh yeah, and the maneuvers. So we did a maneuvers course as well, where we spent a lot of time in the airplane filming everything you need to do to learn a maneuver. But we also did it in the simulator where you can get a different camera angle that, you can attach a camera to the tail of the aircraft or to the wing. But once you have a camera that's fully removed, like it's on a drone actually, filming a stall where you can really see the pitch of the aircraft and how the aircraft is moving around, or landing where the camera is following the aircraft as it's landing during a crosswind landing. So we have the ability to do this, and you can switch camera angle as you watch the maneuver and as somebody explains the maneuver and how to perform it. So we try to be as interactive as we can. I had a former college professor that came in to visit yesterday, just yesterday, and she was in the office, and I put the VR goggles on her, and I watched her walking around the aircraft and just interacting and be like, holy smokes, I wish I had this when I trained. So you're right, it's not just for young people.
It's amazing. I mean, it's, the airlines, the way that they do training, it's got to be simulator training because it's cost prohibitive to go ahead and
Yep.
practice with maneuvers in an actual aircraft. Well, while it's
Hmm.
less cost prohibitive to practice those in a Cessna 172, it's still probably one of the biggest objections to flight training is how am I going to pay
Yep.
for it? So
Yep.
having the ability to do all of that hands-on stuff with the technology we have, that's an amazing tool for anyone that's interested in getting into aviation before taking out a 15 to $20,000 loan,
Yep.
having access to all that education. That's
Well,
amazing.
we have students coming to us now and said, I've never been in a Cessna before in my life. I use the goggles to train at home, and then I show up for my pre-flight, and I know where the ailerons are. I know where they're located. I know how the flaps are actuated because we have all that in the simulator. We have flight schools that use those, and they say our students, we put them in this, they do the whole pre-flight, they learn about the aircraft, and then they go out, and then they're already a leg on the competition. They have 0 hours, but they know all about the aircraft. So we're going to continue doing this. I'm really excited. The checklist is also really cool. The last place you should be learning where the fuel pump is located is in the cockpit. You should be doing this way beforehand. And now knowing where everything is, you have your flow or checklist. So yeah, it's amazing.
It sounds it. You had mentioned ailerons, and you also mentioned that you were originally from France. I got to ask you two maybe urban legend myths that I've heard. Is aileron actually French for little wing?
Uh, I don't know that it has a meaning. It is a French word, but I don't know that it has necessarily a meaning. But based on I never thought about that, but that's a good point. Based on the etymology of the word, it is aile is a wing. So aileron, well, yeah, that would be a mini wing, I guess. That would
Okay.
make sense.
And then is BR the abbreviation we see in METARs and TAPs for mist? Is that also actually from a French word?
It is. It's brume, Brume. Yes.
Okay, perfect.
I
Again,
mentioned that in the course.
things that I've heard over and over again, and it's one of those that you hear it and you assume that it's true. And I had you right here, so carpe
Yeah.
diem, I needed to figure that out. Well, thank you for that clarification.
And then also you want another one? Smoke. Fu is fumé. So that's and it's also fumar, I think, in Spanish, but it's from that.
Gotcha. Fantastic, wonderful. All right. Well, if someone wanted to get more information about the courses or see some more of the stuff that you guys do, how does someone get more info? How do they contact you?
Mhm.
Website, social media presence, events that maybe you're going to be at showcasing some of this? How does someone learn more about Pilot Institute?
You got it. I'll start with events. We were at Sun and Fun. We're going to be at Oshkosh again this year. We're bringing the airplane, so the airplane will be on display at Oshkosh. You can go to pilotinstitute.com. All of our courses are available there, airplane and drone. We have social media, all of them. Uh, that you can think about. We are big on YouTube for our airplane video and drone video. There's two different channels. There's a Pilot Institute airplane and a drone, so you can follow whatever you want. Instagram, we also have a lot of content for Instagram. So if you're looking for daily questions, we put those on Instagram, so you can, if you're in the middle of flight training, you can get some refreshers. We have some cool, very short videos on specific content. And then you can get a hold of us directly from the website. We have a little help chat window with a real person answering those chats. So if you need to get a hold of us, you can do that.
One other question, just in talking about how someone would go ahead and use some of your programs, is this an alternative to traditional flight training, or is this meant to be an accompaniment? For example,
Uh,
if someone's at a university and the university uses XYZ program, is there
Yeah.
any reason that they couldn't supplement both the university education and the university textbook with Pilot Institute stuff?
100%. Yeah, it is a supplement. We work actually with a lot of universities that now use our course as a textbook. because instead of spending the money on a textbook, the price is roughly the same. You know, the price of textbooks at universities. So now they use this where the instructor still teaches in the classroom, but maybe you want a different perspective or you want a recorded that you can play over and over again. Our courses are available for lifetime. So you don't, it's not a monthly fee, it's not a yearly fee. You get the course and it stays updated. So you always have access to the updated version. We have quizzes on there. You have practice exam. We can give you endorsement. So there's everything is available. So as a textbook, it actually makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. It's going to be harder to prop open a door with your program. Textbooks
Yes,
has that over you guys. But no,
that's
it just
true.
sounds like a much more exciting way to go and learn than having to go and read it. That is
Yes.
fantastic. All right. Is there anything else that I haven't asked you about the Pilot Institute or about flight training or anything that you want to go ahead and share with anyone who may be thinking about this or already in it and maybe having frustration with the learning process?
No, yeah, if you're frustrated with the current way that you're being taught or that you're learning and it's not working, give us a try. You know, we have 30 days of free refund. So if something doesn't work, you can get a refund right away. We have very few of these, but I also understand that everybody learns differently, and I'm never offended when somebody says, "Hey, this doesn't work for me. I want something quicker. I want to learn the questions." That's fine. That's our course is in depth and it's designed to be like that, and I'm not going to change that.
No, absolutely. Now, you said you cover the material. Do you also deal with maybe some of the sample questions, or do you 100% go, I'm teaching you the education of material?
We have simple questions. So our private pilot database is like 850 questions. We actually have a new quizzing platform that we developed in-house. We don't like the traditional way of showing you a question, and then if you miss it, then we'll show it to you again, the exact same questions, because then you learn a database of questions, which is beside the point. So what we've done is we're using a way to find out which topics you're not really good at, and then we have a database of questions on the side that's designed to bring you back the same topic, but asked a different way. And you've never seen that question before. So if you're not good at Class B airspace, for example, and you're in the middle of ADM and doing a quiz on ADM, we're going to bring back that Class B question, but it's going to be worded slightly differently, but it's going to it's going to test that topic, and we'll bring it back in the middle of other quizzes until you're good enough and we know that now you're good at Class B. So it's an intelligent quizzing platform and it works awesome.
It sounds like it. My goodness. A little bit different from the old red book that I had when I was in flight training, where it was just
So did
100%
I.
answer memorization. We're familiar with
Yep,
that. So,
absolutely.
well, a couple happy fun questions, and then we'll wrap everything up. Do you have, and again, I know there's tons, maybe you got to pick one. Do you have a favorite aviation teaching story?
I have one that I can remember from the classroom, and this is when I knew I had that ability to get the point across. I had a student who was in the commercial course, and she had been taught over and over again about the way the governor works for a constant speed propeller system. And she had never been taught that the flight weights, right? You have these flight weights that move in and out like this. She had never understood the concept that they were actually spinning based on the engine as the engine spins, right? Because every time you see them on a 2D graph, they look like this.
Dictionary.
You never see them rotating. And so what I had in my I had an I think it's a Tinkerbell uh it's a Tinkerbell toy that you twist over your hands and the wings go up and then it starts flying, right? So it's perfect because it's a flight weight. That's exactly what it is. So as I would spin it quicker, the wings would go up, and as I slow down, the wings would go down, which is exactly what the flight weights do. So I would bring this to class and I would spin it, and all of a sudden, I talked about the light bulb moment, right? She had this light bulb moment. She came at the end of the class and she said, "I've been taught this in 3 ground schools now, and I never understood until you did this." And I was like, mission accomplished. This is such a good feeling.
So, another question for you. If you had to pick only one, whether you've flown it, not, whether it is real or not, what is your favorite aircraft or flying machine? Let's go ahead and widen it out there.
That's a tough one, but I'm going to have to say, having traveled in the early 2000 between France and the US a lot, it has to be the Concorde. Just such a beautiful machine, piece of engineering that, yeah, as you know, tragically ended. But yeah, there you
One
go.
right
There
here.
you go. And we have a Lego Concorde that's in the back over here. You probably can't see it, but we build a big Lego Concorde. So I would have to say probably to me the best piece of engineering. And hopefully we can get back. I know people are trying to bring back supersonic flight, and I hope we can do that.
It would definitely make things a lot of fun. So,
Mhm.
all right. Well, Greg, thank you so much for your time. It's been a blast spending a little bit of time with you talking about Pilot Institute, your particular aviation journey, and obviously learning about the passion you have for aviation and teaching. Um, Again, you talked about getting bit by the aviation bug. It's hard to describe to someone why all of a sudden aviation appeals to someone, but it does. I can't explain why the smell of jet fuel just is like, oh yeah,
It
fantastic.
gets you.
Or why we do some of the stuff we do, but there is something contagious about aviation. Get bit by the bug. I've heard aviation chooses you, you don't choose it, but
Mhm.
whatever it is, it's a unique and fantastic industry. So thank you so much for what you do for aviation, what you do for the students, and thank you for spending some time with us here on FAPA Talk.
Well, thank you for having me, and thank you for everyone who's listening.
All right. Take care, everyone.